نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today we recited Surah Najam, and I want to take 5 minutes to talk about Surah Najam because this is one of the surahs that has linguistically and miraculously one of the best ones. So the reason is that this surah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has talked about and has discussed Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in it. And one of the reasons that I wanted to especially talk about this surah is because at the end of this surah, when this surah was revealed, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went out in Mecca and he recited it to Ahl Quraysh, the people of the Quraysh. When he finished reciting this surah, everybody around him, even if it was a Muslim or non-Muslim or the people of the Quraysh, they went to sajda. And the reason was that the level of the kalam, the level of the language in the surah is so high, and Quraysh was very proud of on their language, and they was not able to control themselves. And at the end, they actually even did the sajda, and then they figured out, oh, you know what we did a sajda to the God of Muhammad. This is, oh my God, you know what, like this is, we made a mistake kind of thing. But the beauty of this surah is it is talking to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is so beautiful, and it's like one of the best dramatically, calligraphically put together a scene. If you look at it, it's so detailed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained it to us about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if you go back a little bit, the surah before this, what is the surah before this is? Surah Tur. So if you look at the end of this Surah Tur, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and telling him, hey, don't worry about it. You know, you're going to get better. What you have to do is you have to be a little bit like sabr. He's saying like you have to do some sabr. And as soon as you do some sabr and what you do my tasbih. You know, you remember me. And you remember me until when? Until the morning when the star starts disappearing. You do tasbih of me until when the stars starts disappearing. That's where the last surah ends in Surah 2. And as soon as it ends, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts again from where? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts again from the Surah Najam, وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا حَوَى. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling that, you know what, as you have seen that star disappears like that. Have you seen that star that disappears like that? We normally translate that is that it is the qasam, but actually it's more than the qasam, is a reference. It's a reference when a star disappears like that. What Allah is telling the people over there in the Makkah, that you know what, this is ma dalla sahibukum wa ma gawa, which means that your companion, he's telling the Quraysh, the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, he is not astray. He has not gone crazy. Whatever he's saying, he is saying because we have done a wahi to him. So from here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you look at the Surah Tur, he's telling Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, be patient, you know, don't worry, you do my tasbih, and I'm going to fix it for you. And then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and he all of a sudden, Surah Najm started talking to the people who's giving trouble to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's saying what? You know, look at the star, how it disappears. It looks to you in your eyes that this is some kind of illusion, but it is not. Stars disappear. You know, it is not an illusion. But the same way, whatever Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling you, is talking to you, is reciting to you, is a part of what we tell him, is a wahi that we send it to him. So don't consider him crazy. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directly talking to the Quraysh. This is the point. Then, and all of a sudden, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then changes the story. And what he says, you know what, guys, let me tell you what. You know how he got that ilm, how he got that knowledge? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala start telling about the story of the Jibreal, that how Jibreal first met Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How Jibreal came so close and he has taught Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the point being is there that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling the people of Quraysh that he's not saying anything from himself. This is not his wishes. This is what we have taught him through Jibreal. And who was Jibreal that came to him? Look at that whole story. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then describes the situation where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam met Jibreal. Where? Imagine yourself. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is sitting in Hira, which is like, a mountain. And he is looking on a horizon. That's how it is actually here. If you go there, up you'll be able to see a big horizon. And he's sitting there, and he's there. And what happens? وَهُوَ بِالْأُفُقِ الْأَعْلَى. He comes up on the horizon. He's spread all over the horizon. So Allah is telling the story that Jibreel comes all over the horizon, and Jibreel comes so close to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so close that it becomes only the distance of فَكَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. Means like probably 2 meters, meter or 2 meters, just like that. That's like we say, like he came so close. So in that time, the measurement was like with that arch, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying he came so close to Muhammad. He's telling the people that whatever Muhammad is saying is not from his own will. This is how it happens. Muhammad got taught by Jibreel, and Jibreel came so close. But the point is, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not got afraid of it. He did not look at Jibreel and ran away. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. And then Allah said, like, Jibreel is so powerful that the message he has is so protected. That's why Allah called him Allamahu Shadidul Qawa. Means like the one who has a lot of power. He taught him Muhammad. And the power is because he's bringing the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as we move forward in this whole story of Surah Najm, Allah tells us more and more and more. And it's so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. We can discuss this and talk about this whole night, and you will just imagine like you are talking to, and listening to the story that's being told to you just like live. So join me inshallah, on a coming Friday in the evening, and I'll put the date on there as well, that we will cover the whole story of Surah Najm after Isha Taraweeh, and Mikini Center. So we have the address, and hopefully, it will be very, very, very knowledgeable for everybody, inshallah. Remember, this is the surah that Quraysh listened, who was against Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they went to sajda. Allahu Akbar. Jazakallah khair.